Nanga see, you know, people when it comes to massages and they consider it, you know, and all that. So me getting girls put a couple as a massage, it was like unabudi inaya mwepimpi. Hey guys, they called me and the certificates. We went for the interview. The manager, our manager, was like, you know what? According to your qualification, it looks like unabudi unakoza bwino. And I mean, they don't have the kind of qualification that you have. So a lot of guys, I mean, in South Africa, they're staying there illegally. I'm sorry to say this, but passport without considering work permits and visas and whatever, right? So you can go there. 30 days per border. You can only stay in South Africa for 30 days. All right. Welcome everybody. This is Grooming Box MW, and this program is called Behind the Barber's Chair. So I know you don't know what's happening. Who is this guy? Paul, the teacher Manda. The other day I was like, died again. People were wondering, you know, go died again. Dindani, Amadani. So I feel like a lot of you guys, especially the new subscribers, you don't know. Could go the poor Manda Dindani. Alright. So I just wanna, give like a little bit of an introduction to who I am. Alright. I think we'll do another episode in Israel Chinga so that you can understand could go the Israeli. But this is now about me, Paul, the teacher Manda. My journey, where I'm coming from to be where I am now. So there's a whole lot of stories behind. This is why I just decided to do this one, this program right here. So firstly, Paul Manda Ndinani. So Paul Manda is an entrepreneur. Okay, I'm a businessman. I'm an entrepreneur. I do have a couple businesses. Though I'm not in the liberty to explain some of the businesses that I do. Okay, but I'll just mention a couple that I do. I'm into farming, and I own Grooming Box MW. So Grooming Box is a place where you can get your haircut. It's a place where you can get your massage. It's a place where you can get your facials. All things grooming. We got you. All right. So, and they don't know and where am I coming from? So why am I doing what I'm doing? Okay, so I know some of these questions are the questions that you've been asking. As I said, I'm an entrepreneur, but I'm also a barber. Okay, I'm a professional barber. I went to school, groomed academy in Cape Town. That's where I studied my grooming skills. So for me to be a professional barber, it's not just because I'm just a barber because no, I don't have any relative I'm a maid. My uncles, now, they are engineers, accountants, IT specialists, and all these other things. So me growing up, I wanted to be an engineer. Okay, so even when I finished my MSc exams, I applied for engineering course at Polytechnic, though I wasn't picked. So I had three options actually. The first one was for me to be an engineer. The second one was for me to do maybe nursing, doctor, or something like that. The last one was for me to be an accountant. So what happened was nditapanga apply ku Unima sana ndidenge, and as you know we were supposed to apply for 3 times, but then nditangopanga apply the first time I gave up ndinazisiya. Second time ndinakapanga apply za napanga apply za Malawi College of Health Sciences then before it was COHES. So nditapanga apply kumene kuchakuso they didn't pick me as well. So people encouraged me kuti ndipange apply ije ma courses a charm. I wasn't interested, so I stopped. So ndikasiya napeza ndingokhala so ndapanga apply. I've tried school zikuoneka kuti zikukanika, so what do I do? So I started doing business. Ndimapita ku Lilongwe, my uncle has got business yota makatenga zinthu Tanzania kuzagulisa mu Lilongwe, so I knew some guys yota makagula ku Lilongwe kuja makaoda kwa iwo ndomagulisa. So what I knew was kuti bwanji ndinataka ndikandramaka. By that time, by the way, my father was in South Africa, so anantumizira kandrama kenakaka about 100 something thousand. So ndatenga ndrama ja kupita ku Lilongwe kaoda katundu mazagulisa ku Blantyre kuno. Unfortunately, ndimakonda kupanga kwambiri ngati mwapereka katundu yo pangongole. So because ndimapereka kwambiri pangongole, I ended up kupezeka kuti ndisako ndibwezera ndrama jani and I started losing money. So I was like, okay, kumane zikuoneka kuti ka profit ndituka khala double. So what do? I took some more money ndikupita so katenga so katundu wina ndikuzapitirisa kupanga kupereka katundu cha pangongole, yet ndrama zakalezo it's not paid yet. And basically that's what happened. So I was like, okay, now, but this time around, I'm going to make it. I'm going to push. I'm going to, to recoup my money back. But then still nothing worked. So ndrama jamapeza kudani ikutika. And menaka ndibasa ndrama ibambanga told me kuna gudi, I'm keeping it. It's mine. Just keep it for me. Go open a bank account and keep the money there. So I had access to the money and I went, because the account was in my name actually. So I started losing money like that. And I was like, okay, you know what? Let me stop this one. Let me start another one. And then I started going to Mangochi. Because I had a friend of mine, her name is Rejoice. We agreed on this one is profitable and all that. So I'm just a young man, I don't know much about business. What do? I had to go to Mangochi. Fortunately enough, my uncle was there. I'm going to Mangochi. So I went there, and then I'll go kuna miasi, kukagula nsomba kwa sozi, and then dudenga somba zichadi kwa hapa Mangochi baboma, tigamo ice, tikarika ice, kunyamuka ndubwela kuzagulisa kuna. But still, that business didn't work until one time the fisherman Gulisa Soba duped me some cash, and that was my last cash, my last hope, because I had found the market, and I was like, you know what, I'll make my money back, so I'll be supplying to these guys. In my mind the business was working, but then I failed on that one as well. I lost all the money. So what do? I called a friend of mine. I asked him whether to put dish installation. So Nabezabi wanted to put a dish installation, and I was doing a little bit of dish installation, just getting a little cash. Commander wasn't working, because Nangasi people don't know me. I had to sell myself out there, and yeah. So see my end, and then a friend of mine, another didana kupole park, because they were looking for a quality controller. The one who was there and sort of resigned, so they wanted to replace it, to fire or something like that. So they called me, and the certificates. We went for the interview. Our manager was like, you know what, according to your qualification, it looks like unakoza bwino, and they don't have the kind of qualification that you have. So are you not going to run away from us? So I said, you know what, my plan was I raise a little cash, drama individual school. Okay, drama individual school, ndikapanga study so yani accounting, because I've tried engineering zakanika, I've tried The last option was for me to do accounting. And by that time, actually, I had a friend who did Magira Nanchino Gonko, Amangwanisa Kubita, Maga Posiras accounting, my weekends. So I was like, okay, I'll do like what he's doing. Once I get my papers, and then I'm out of here. Accounting. And I considered accounting to be more profitable than Zina said. So I was like, okay, this is a good job, this is a good qualification. If I get it, I'm good, I'm set for life, bruh. And so I started working there. Kumano, life was tough, drama made in Malandira and all that. It wasn't easy for me to, it wasn't easy for me to survive. It wasn't an easy one. So basically what happened was, okay, I was like, okay, what do I do? And mind you, I told you my father was in South, the 100 and something thousand. Imenenda ibanga blow up yose yata. Now drama yata, and then I called my dad. I said, hey, I'm desperate. I know I've been denying, because every year he was like, my son, come to South Africa. Things are better here. I know people that are making money here. Just come. And then I was like, I'll come another time. I'll make it here. And and this time I was so broken. And I was like, what? Let me try South Africa, just like my dad has been, asking me to. And I took all the money that I had saved up. Passport. My dad sent me a little bit of more cash. Couldn't get dish. You have immigration age. So ndinaga disha and the good address to passport ituke mwajango, because I had to wait kudi igaduluga then and do mizi transport in the south. So it's not taken. And then to mizi drama ya transport in takatenga passport, because nothing a passport in gadilero nagadula ticket ja bus mawalage the following day ndumana ni move. So I went to Joburg. From Joburg, I took a train to Cape Town. My dad was there. Kafika kunyumba. So I stayed a week. And then Bwana Wabambanga was like, come. The warning. Then I went there. I'll find you a job. You find something to do, but in the meantime, you can be helping your father. My father was a gardener actually. So basinali gardener. Timadibula kuti kumeneko maluwa zunga chokuti kuzooneka nyado, kuzooneka clean yachani first kuzoona bagabo. Then I was doing that. I was busy cleaning, sesa, kukolopa, kutani, kusuga magari moto, chani, I was doing all that, bro. The night tipula, but then, so in other figure on tower, after a couple months, you're still young. So flying school I'll pay for it in full. So I was like, oh, thank God, because this has been my dream. So what do I do? So now I have to choose course. So then So I started looking for school. Did Saga school. So unfortunately, you see, this is what happens in South Africa without knowing. A lot of guys in South Africa, they're staying there illegally. I'm sorry to say this, but passport without considering work permits and visas and whatever, right? So you can go there. 30 days per border. You can only stay in South Africa for 30 days. So you get 30 days and then you overstay. But you are supposed to have a work permit for you to be able to work. Or Panga school, you are supposed to have a study permit for you to be able to study in South Africa. So for me, I never had a work permit. I never had a study permit. I had already overstayed in South Africa. So I was staying there illegally because I was supposed to be out of the country. Now, for me to get to school, my school ambira mandiga nila because of my status how to stay in the country. I wasn't allowed to be in the country. So what happened was tima asylum seekers mabevala nditu my asylum seeker makangopi akwenchani kumano afake because our home affairs amabereka by that time kumano even though amabereka kumakhala line kwambiri kumaso for you kuti ulandire kumadikiras miyezi sinarani asanakubasi. So for you to be safe umangopangisa ja fake kuti bola ukayambe ntchito. So ukangamba ntchito makakutiza bobo waonese jaji. So I was like, okay, kuskulu ananifusa what kind of permits do you have? So I was like, I have a asylum seeker. And I want asylum seeker job. Basi they took photocopies of it, my passport and everything. Bas nalani denied school. So I started studying. My boss was paying for my education and everything. Yeah, and then marani mabanga zimezi Mano, the classes was on a weekend, on Saturdays only. So on Saturday I would go to school. On Sunday I would be at church. Masana bas, I'll be home. Monday back to work. So Monday to Friday I was working. Katibula so mudimba. Garden. Kutibula wele, kutibula. Church up, using lawnmower, the weed eater and everything, taking the trash out, cleaning cars. And all that day, but then, yeah. So after a while, Banga studied. After a couple months in Banga studied, my boss there was a computer, so a computer box. So I had some CDs in Nadenga, because BFB had given me my software in Fruit Loops and so by the way, by that time BFB and Asana. So I took that CD, Fruit Loops, I installed in the computer, kumamba banga beat. Man, my bida men banga mango banga ngati zidepe when kidi. So but then I was learning how to to make beats. People coming with their beats couldn't banga record voices, nyimbo cha kuipanga balance mnobwina. Of course I used to use Adobe Audition. So for those who do sound, you understand what I mean. So I use Adobe Audition, and madani mwapanga. So ndio kunopanga school media production ni kunchito chani mateka. And then after that anapezodi bwana unduza kudapo tufuna duambe jani so he had three dogs. I mean in mind now my pit bulls. There was a pit bull, a staffy, and a half bleed. Both pit bull and staffy So now mind now getting paid. Now I want you to start working at my company, my restaurant, because she had a very executive restaurant. So she asked me because one of the managers so manager stock controlling. So I was doing all the stock controlling of the restaurant. And then now stock controlling and so within a week I knew what to do. On a Saturday I was still go to school. On Monday we were off. On Sunday I was off already. And also I wasn't supposed to go Kunchito on Sunday. So Komano I still was going Kugatan. So I kinda had two jobs. Ugundi mabanga stock controlling, ugundi maweka ngadiani. So that was my life, And I was like, okay, what? I started accounting. I needed something good. What can I need to have an experience in accounting, my trial balance I just sang up So there's a lot that I learned to, in my accounting course. I needed to, at least to be there, practically working, as an accountant. So I started searching for a job as an accountant, Mrs. Matega. And when I'll tell you, in South Africa, you need to indicate, actually, and indicated, are you black, are you colored, or are you white? So what I discovered is, South Africa, most of the times, they consider one being whites. Kenago, they would consider coloreds. black South Africans. So for me, I was not just a black person, but I was a black foreigner, a Malawian. So for me to get a job, it wasn't easy. So I tried. You know, my scammers trying to approach me, I would catch them with you when I could write when I could write. He's scammer when he's coming when so I couldn't get it, you know. I was like, okay, cool. So a friend of mine, Juliet Mtekateka, I had a school, Pusisa, and she asked me wouldn't design and my students would I pursue beauty therapy. So on the Mampesira, my students, there were a couple guys, and this was also a controversial one because Nangasi, you know, people when it comes to massages and they consider it, you know, within and all that. So me getting girls put a couple as a massage, it was like unabudi inaya my pimp. Hey guys, it was like I'm getting these girls so that I can be paid. Of course, I was getting like a commission out of that. So I'm a divasaka commission for every person that I was taking to the school. But then I was like, okay, because she became like a good friend of mine, and then I got okay, next we're gonna learn the procedure. So I started learning. I started studying beauty therapy. So that's where I learned massages, how to do nails. Oh, of course, I can do nails. Just because I'm a man with a lot of beard doesn't mean this thing about my nails. Hey, so the progress. So yeah, I could do my nails. I could do waxing. I mean, Hollywood waxing, bikini waxing. Just come to daddy. Just come to daddy. I can do it. Wamuna wakazi zababo ninchitu. Yeah, so yeah, I ended up like, you know, I ended up like studying all these things, and yeah, and ndukupanga applying chito ya accounting simapanga umana started applying this also jani za beauty therapy, and luckily I got a job as a beauty therapist. Kumana company mene, shout out to Foxbox, shout out to Tove, you know, she believed in me, and yeah, nabida me kujabu kupita talent, nabida me kuja talent anandi ipanga interview. It was my nails, nampanga my nails bobo say color dog South Africa, nampanga my nails enchani like, oh, you good, I will want that no that uziga we chido. So we are opening a shop in Waterfront, V&A Waterfront in Cape Town. Ndumini tukisegula shop ya tu. So tikamasegula ndokudi wewe you'll be one of the first employees this Foxbox, the shop that we're opening at V&A. So Foxbox was dealing with my girls going be, so they were doing like pamper parties, you know, they had like pop-up boxes, pop-up nail bars in Woolworths, and you know, all these major, you know, malls in South Africa. They had like a pop-up store where you can, like, you know, you can go and have your nails like a quick one. They could do like pamper parties and all that. Yeah, so they took me in, and I started, you know, I started working there. Commando before that, Father Nasa na Segule, Anna Segula Shobina ku Somerset West. So me kujakwa na ndiuza ndizira ndizibanga. So now staying in Hot Bay. So those people that are from South Africa, you will know Hot Bay and Somerset West ndi gudari. So literally I'm a didn't get a Wynberg. So I would come to Wynberg. I would take a taxi to Wynberg. So Wynberg kujamazandi denga kubita ku Waterfront. So same way, I mean not Waterfront, to Somerset West. So same thing, ndikoiruka amandidenga ukanisiya Wynberg nditenge minibus Wynberg muja ndizibita ku Hot Bay. So basically that's what was happening, and nabwira kumekucha mwezi umozi. And ugu company yathu restaurant jana rode akuitsika. And zinachitira bwino kuti ndapeza ntchito ku Foxbox while kwakudane akutseka company. And then another thing that we know sititseka because anambira dandaula nchani. What if we just what if we just sell the business? Instead of losing these people losing their jobs, they can keep their jobs. We're selling the business to a different guy. So the owner of Thai Cafe, those who are in South Africa might know Thai Cafe. So the owner of Thai Cafe is the one who bought the restaurant. The restaurant was Kitima restaurant. So Kitima was bought by Thai Cafe. And the number. So the manager started pleading with me, Paul, please stay. We want you here. In Chidababa needs you and all that and blah blah blah. I was like, you know what? If you can afford me, because remember, I was getting paid as Oendanda Garu. I was getting paid as a store controller. Now, Oendanda Garu. Because she was going back to Thailand. So now she's going back to Thailand. And they would go in and Nagarunda here. They would see Manda. So that income we had. They would the only income in Yabu restaurant. Now, when I was getting paid more than the job that I was working in an office as a store controller. I was getting paid more when Nagaru. 1 hour of my day, I was getting paid more than what I was getting, what I was earning in restaurant. So basically, that's what happened. I was like, if you can pay me, I will stay. If you won't pay me enough, then I'm out of here. I'm just waiting for time. So I had no choice in Luisi and Chidoja. And then I went. Naga and Chido go to friend Janaba. They were like, you know what, Paul? You are good at what you do, but we want you to do Zimeta. You should be a barber as well. So I was like, oh, okay. So they started teaching me. I'm a news and distributor. I've got certificates for what I do. Naga Puzira groomed academy. Groomed academy number Puzira. And the Napuzira after Puzira, then in Amandidenga couldn't Chido, so now I'm a Chidich. And I think nobody see the bomb, but this is just let's call this part 1, okay, and watch out for part 2, because this is just part 1, just for you to understand my journey, where I'm coming from. Couldn't figure bomb. So and the Tuxida now I'm working at V&A Waterfront Gadima Virgin Active Collection, and I'll explain more about that. And and I'm working as a beauty therapist and as a barber as well. So Bamini doesn't be a mini barber, but this is part 1. So watch out for part 2 about my journey as a barber, my journey as an entrepreneur, my journey from South Africa back to Malawi. It's all going to be in the part 2 of the story. So and for now, ciao, bye bye, boom, pa 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 pa, skibbity pa pa, do 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 do.